and the stories they tell. So,
and if ever there was a time for us not to care about what Trudeau, I mean, again, blackface aside, he's the guy in charge right now. He and a bunch of other smart people. And is this video working? Because I can't seem to get it on Facebook. Phil's updating. Sean's not here today.
Yeah, Sean's decided not to let me know about a problem that he troubleshooted a couple days ago, so I'm investigating right now.
oh, Phil.
So that's
I'll
why
tell
I'm
you what,
running
though,
here and there.
if it doesn't work today,
Yeah.
before we leave here today, let's make sure we can do it, because he's not going to be in the office anymore. He's going to be going to CDN.
Absolutely.
And the fact that, we should have had this figured out months ago, but that's us. Dan Duran, how are you in Peterborough this morning?
Very good this morning.
All right, good update. Good update from Dan Duran.
Very good this morning. Yes, by the way, the spring equinox, the vernal equinox is at 11:49 tonight. Just so you know, because Fred was mentioning.
Oh, was that late?
So that's when spring arrives.
Okay,
Yeah.
So yesterday was the last full day. Today we get the switchover, but it's
Right.
late. Very nice.
And spring has arrived earlier than it has in like 124 years or something, just due to all the
virus.
calendar,
The
leap
virus.
year, the virus.
The virus has made the spring arrive earlier. It's got the runs.
Yeah. Did you hear our poopy call? Did you hear that?
I heard the.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's
you
our
need
base.
a spray bottle.
She said sink. She didn't say
I know she
toilet.
did.
Yeah.
I know she said
so
sink.
that got me thinking.
I know.
Like, how would you do that?
Well,
Especially if you're confined to a scooter.
Well, they have lower sinks, obviously.
Yeah, I
and-
guess. Maybe,
so
right. Yeah.
pull up to a lower sink. Yeah.
so in your isolation pod, everything all right over there at the farm?
Everything's fine. We had a new arrival to the pod. My son returned from away, and so now we're gonna have to deal with him and wanting to go out. He arrived and then wanted to go visit a friend, so we had to have a quick chat with him about that.
He wanted to go. Well, first of all, how is my sweet godson going to finish grade 12? I wanted to ask you that question before we get into why he's leaving the house.
I was thinking about that last night, and how is he going to get into the next level of education? I mean, his marks are stellar. It's just this last little bit, so I don't know if they're going to just ignore it or wait for the 2 weeks and then start up again, or
That ain't happening.
it is. Well, I mean, start up in some way, like online
Yeah.
or submit things. I don't know, because I mean, for a lot of the other grades, other than grade 12, you can sort of figure it out in the long term. But for kids in grade 12 for this last semester, I mean, what are they going to do?
Dan, typically in a semester, he'd have what, 3 classes, 4 classes maximum?
Yeah, he has 3 classes in this semester.
So in a couple of weeks, I imagine they'll have an online component for those kids graduating. As you said, in the younger grades, you can kind of make it up. But even there,
They'll cram, probably.
yeah, but they'll do something. They'll take what they've done so far, maybe, commute it to the full grade. But then what about next year? Because he's going to a private, like, art school.
Right.
Right, Dan, let me ask you something, too. He was away up in Georgina. I believe I
Yes.
know where he was. Did you ask him what he was doing up there and where he was? And
We were, every day that he was there, because he was there for 3 days, just talk to him about, he said, we didn't leave the house, didn't go anywhere, and it was just the boys that they always had hang out with. So they created their own little pod, basically.
Yeah, but now
So-
that's part of your pod.
Yes, I know, and I have asked a lot of the questions as he returned home. Whether or not he was out, and he wasn't. They just stayed in the house all day. So, and then he wanted to go visit a friend last night, and we said, you'd be getting into that family's circle of whatever, and the mom is a nurse, and I said, I don't think that's I don't even know if the kid cleared it with his mom, but
Well,
I said,
it's I gotta listen. I don't envy you, because
it would be hard.
it'd be tough.
We don't have that dimension.
We don't have that dimension. Our kids are older, but I can't imagine having my 2 teenage daughters during this time, not understanding the severity of it. And no fault of Colton's. It's just that idea of, I just want to go visit a friend. You can't.
Well, that overriding trait of young people is that feeling of invincibility.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what it's like. somebody else is going to get it.
And that's
not
why all
me.
those kids are in bars on
Yeah.
St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Plus, there's also I'm sorry. There's also the fact that. Excuse me. I lost my. Go ahead, Fred.
You need to call him.
Are you? I just hope you're all right. Already,
Dan.
Colton, already, Colton has given you the virus.
Yeah.
Listen
That's
to
how
him.
quickly. I know.
Yeah.
How quickly
But no,
it happened.
what my point was is that already. I mean, he's thinking that he's 17, so the virus isn't going to affect him because it's not the younger people, it's the older people that get it.
Yeah, but
It's the older people.
I know you don't like to think about this, but I saw something I was going to send you this morning, and it was a CNN story about if you're over 60, read this. And I was like, I know Dan doesn't know how old he is, but you're over. Isn't your birthday today or something? No, it's Lou Skeez's birthday. When's your birthday, Dan Duran?
Coming up on the 27th.
Okay. So you're about to turn, I don't know, 70 or something, but you got to be careful.
I do.
I'm serious. Because Colton was with some friends. They could all have it and then give it to you and your missus.
Not only that, where he was, I imagine there was some drop-ins from the community.
Well, I asked him about that, and he said there was. I said, there's no kids coming over. There's no going and hanging out with Nate's friends and stuff. So he said, yeah, no, we didn't do that.
Yeah, well.
I don't know.
Was any of the Oshawa clan there?
Yeah, they took him there and back. He was with the Oshawa clan.
Well, the virus is.
There you
Listen,
go.
the virus has got no chance in Oshawa. Seriously. There's already so much other virus there. It won't even have a chance.
So that's part of your pod, too, now.
You might want to watch that he doesn't have syphilis if he's been to Oshawa.
Howie.
Holy cow!
Yeah, Howie. Come on.
That's too much.
Line. Oh,
Okay. That's too much.
I would never say anything
I
like
know
that.
you wouldn't.
It's like you're crossing into Oshawa.
Lying. All right.
Last.
Here we go. Hang on. Here we go, boys. A threesome tonight. Oh. In the rain, weather, weather in the rain. 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 Now, Dan, I don't mean Colton would have the disease. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
I know. He would. It would be me that you're worried about.
I am worried about you, Dan. I am worried about
Yeah.
you. Hold up there in your
Although
farm.
They do recommend if you're in Oshawa, before you leave, walk through a car wash.
Yes, exactly. That's right. They've been social isolating there for years. Dan, the first day of spring, fantastic. I think you said yesterday we're going to get into the double-digit temperatures today.
Double digits today, and I wouldn't say today so much. Tomorrow's going to be outstanding, though. Like today, we'll probably get up to about 8 degrees. Tomorrow, it depends which forecast you're looking at, but it's somewhere between 15 and 19 degrees. What? The forecast one is all of southern Ontario. Yeah. Somewhere between 15 and 19 by about 1 or 2 o'clock tomorrow. And then it'll drop, like Fred was talking about, 20 degrees or more as you get into Saturday with a high of an overnight low. Friday night, the overnight low is going to be around -7. And then get up to 1 on Saturday and then 0 on Sunday.
Why does it have to do that?
So in there.
Anyway, go ahead.
What?
No, I was just saying, why does it have to
do
do that? Like, why couldn't it just stay nice? Anyway, go ahead.
Hang on a second. That's the same philosophy. Why do we have to have a virus? Why won't it just go away?
Go ahead, Dan. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because weather has a mind of its own.
Because weather.
It just feels like.
To answer your question, weather. Daniel, can you hang on during this break here, please?
Okay, we didn't finish again.
No,
okay, good.
No problem. Stay.
Yeah.
Just stay with us, Dan.
Yep. Okay.
Because I feel, you know what? I feel better when you're talking.
Plus, Howard, on the other side, I want to I want to propose a scenario with Dan on the line, and see how you get your opinion on it.
Well, fantastic. On the other side of this break, by the way, it's so funny, too. I want to talk later this morning. All these radio morning shows are now set up remotely Again, Humble and Fred leading the way. Leading the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what, Dan? This was the year they were going to put us in the Radio Hall of Fame, but they canceled it. God damn it!
This was the year.
This was the year. And also news today on our program about an extra show just for Humble and Fred podcast listeners. Come on back. It's Humble and Fred Radio.